Hi, Karen Curry Parker here with your weekly Human Design Evolution Report. I literally have tried to record this evolution report a couple of different times, and every time I have been sharing the information from the transits of the week, I keep getting quagmired in a different kind of series of thoughts. And so I've decided to ditch what I would normally say and try to keep this message this week really simple and really clear. Our sun this week transits in the gate 44, the gate of truth. This energy is an energy that actually initiated this cycle that we've been in all year with the coronavirus. Certainly in the United States, it kind of accumulates in the election that happens tomorrow, Tuesday. It is a cycle that really has set the tone for everything we are wrestling with and struggling with. And to a certain degree, it's a theme that I believe we're going to be working with and exploring and contemplating until at least 2024. So in a way, we're still just at the very, very beginning of a revolutionary cycle that promises to truly transform the entire potential of humanity and bring humanity into alignment with what I think is the cosmic heart of the world. To get to where we're headed, we have to let go of who we've been. And this energy of the 44 invites us to really deeply explore the patterns of the past. Any patterns that we might have, whether it's a thought form, whether it's a system or an institution, whether it's a belief system or a set of behaviors that maybe is in response to trauma that we've experienced. We're being invited on a cosmic level to let go of these old patterns, to really drop every perception of who we think we are and give ourselves permission to reframe our identity from a brand new perspective, from a brand new point of view, in a way that is much more worthy of the truth of who we are and much more in alignment with the heart of who we are. Our earth grounds us in the energy of the gate 24. This is the energy of blessings. This is the place where when we expand outward and we see the bigger picture of who we are, and it's a picture that sometimes defies language because we haven't translated the bigger perspective of who we are into the human story yet. It's the 24 that begins the process of translating that bigger perspective into our current reality. And the first step in translating that perspective is looking at the answer to the question why. And the answer to the question why is a tricky question because why is to a certain degree an unanswerable question, but the 24 says, okay, so you can't answer all of the whys. You don't know, we're not privy to the unfolding of the entire plan of the cosmos, but in the micro expression of our personal lives and even a bigger but still micro expression of our human story, we can start to look at the things that we have learned from our experiences and the things that we want to continue to cultivate as a result of our shift in our perspective. So making this sound really practical, if you've had experiences in your life maybe that were really crappy and terrible and painful, and you got stuck in, why is this happening to me? Why did this happen? If we instead say, what is in this experience that is for my good? What is in this experience that has the potential to catalyze me into becoming a more aligned person, a person who is doing a better job than I was before this experience of fulfilling my potential? This isn't about rationalizing things that aren't worthy of who you are. This isn't about rationalizing settling for less than what you deserve. And it's certainly not about rationalizing hate-filled, divisive perspectives that keep us from being the full expression of the heart of who we are. But it's about finding the blessings in the lessons and taking those blessings with us and not getting stuck in a narrative of victimhood, not getting stuck in a narrative of feeling disempowered, and to a certain degree, not getting stuck in a narrative of loss and losing. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because we are, part of what we're doing on a bigger level is we're dropping binary perspectives. We're dropping perspectives that say black and white, male, female, good, bad. And we are learning to see the world through a lens of broader perspectives. And that broader perspective is giving us an opportunity to really stop classifying and categorizing and using a set of metrics that are highly limiting, this or that. What if we're this and that and everything in between and beyond? And what if we're creating from a place of this and that and everything in between and beyond, which is what we're moving towards? That's the nature of quantum consciousness. But we're still embedded in this binary place of thinking. And so when we look at, say, the election in the United States tomorrow, it's inevitable that there are going to be people who are going to feel like they're going to lose tomorrow. Somebody's going to win and somebody's going to lose. And if we understand that we are all well when we all do well, we are all one and we're all intimately and infinitely connected. And if that isn't the single most important lesson that the coronavirus has brought to us this year, that what happens in Wuhan affects us in Minneapolis and we are all connected. And that if some of us are perceiving a loss, we're all losing. And if some of us are perceiving a win, hopefully we can bring it to where we're all winning. We have to get into the practice of dropping this either or consciousness and start looking at how can we expand on the abundance of possibilities available to all of us. And we have to be present and aware to the idea that even if what's transpiring in the moment feels like losing, that ultimately the only thing we can continue to strive towards is a win for all of us. And I don't know what that's going to look like. I don't know the how of how we're going to get there. But I want to assure you and reassure you, especially when we look at what's ahead in the celestial weather over the long term, not in the short run. When we look at what's ahead in the celestial weather, in the end, we are inevitably going to reach a point where we create from a place of peace, where we create from the fulfillment of our human story, for the fulfillment of the full potential of who we are, from the heart of who we are. We're going to get to an amazing place. But to get there, we have to drop anything, all institutions, all systems, all ways of thinking that divide us, that other us, and that ultimately limit ourselves to thinking there's only this option or that option. There are way more options than that. And to get to where we need to be, we have to let go of anything that is holding us back from A, seeing our own value and the preciousness that is you, that once in a lifetime cosmic event that is you. And number two, we have to get rid of anything that's causing us, keeping us from seeing the inherent value in others. And not just in others, but in all living creatures and in the value and the preciousness of this beautiful planet we're living on. Until we can fully embody the value of all of life and only see the world through that lens, we have a bumpy road ahead of us. And part of what the sun calls us to do this week is to start really taking inventory of where are you holding yourself back from seeing the value of who you are and the value of others, and where might you be rationalizing settling for less than who you are and settling for less than what you deserve. You might think it's selfish to start focusing here on yourself first, but we are each tiny pieces of a beautiful puzzle, and the more of us who can align ourselves on a personal level with the truth of who we are, the more we can keep adding to the whole. And the more we add to the whole, the more that whole gains mass, gains critical mass at a certain point. And at a certain point, like a beautiful collapsing of a sculpture of dominoes, that critical mass of preciousness, of perspective on value, of open-hearted, open-mindedness will take over this world like a wave. And if you are feeling disempowered or like you're losing somehow this week, I want to remind you that we will transform the world in a wave, and that you owe it to the world. Your place of power at this point in the transformation of the world is you standing strongly in your own personal wave of impact and influence, and just take care of that piece for now. The right work, and we'll have to do work, the right work to change the planet will happen. But we can't do it until we get the right alignment with the consciousness first. So take care of yourselves. Be good to yourselves. Keep working on the inner plane. Let go of anything that's keeping you from seeing the preciousness of who you are. And don't rationalize settling for less than what you deserve. Have a great week.